Is going on to Goldboys Live. I have Brad here. It's just us actually. There's
Yeah,
no
dude.
not the usual four, but as always, we appreciate Pick of Sports, Hall of Fame bets, and sleeper picks. I mean, I guess we got a lot to talk about. There's a big MLB slate, but I was saying before the show to Brad, I haven't really looked at it too much. I've been too busy getting sidetracked by the fact we're getting NFL props popping up, which is kind of exciting and kind of terrifying at the same time.
Dude, it's kind of funny because like I went on Sleeper, 100% went on Sleeper to make an MLB Sleeper play. And then I started handicapping. I handicapped the first game, Twins at Guardians, and I stopped and I was like, why am I handicapping this when there are available sleeper plays for this weekend? I mean, for Thursday at least, which made me super excited.
Yeah, no, it's like I think the most frustrating part is I'm not wholly prepared today to go through some of these NFL stuff, and I saw that George Pickens line dropped at like 33.5 and it went to like 40.5 within maybe 5 minutes. And it's just
That's
like it's one of
crazy.
those things where if you don't have your spots lined up before the lines drop, it makes it really
Yep.
hard when they drop and all of a sudden every single bit of value you could have had is gone within minutes.
Dude, I'll tell you about 4 years ago. Uh, I swear to God, my boy used to call me the prop king. It was so much easier 4 years ago because not like now the information's so readily available. These prop guys with 100,000 followers, once that line drops, if you don't bet it, you're dead. And it's gone. So I stopped handicapping NFL. I still do player props for college football, but I stopped NFL handicapping player props like 2 years ago, just because I was like, this is just, it's like a rat race. Like literally
Yeah.
everyone's trying to get to the line first, and so much doesn't even feel like it's like having the best information. It's about getting to the window first.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's important to pick your spots because there's times where I have a spot lined up I want to bet on some
Yeah.
account like prop bet guy or some of these other bigger accounts. They'll put it out, it'll move the line, and I feel like it's just one of those things where you have to be smart enough to see that and just not bet it at all. Like it sucks to have a spot you like, and then it's like,
It's
oh,
just
it's
gone.
now it's not unbettable. But once you're talking 5, 6, 7 yards of line difference, you just have to be at that point where you're okay just not playing it and finding a different spot or not having a spot. Because once that thing moves, trying to force it is just not worth it.
Dude, it's all right to fade those guys when the line moves too much too to the other side. Like
Yeah.
Pips and prop stars talk about it all the time. The percent of value, the 2% rule. If
Eventually, line flips. If you have an inherent value on one side of the
yeah,
line, there's only so long it can hold before, you see some of these things where it's like, oh, I like this guy over 68.5 yards. And it's like, oh, is this playable at 77.5? It's like, I don't know. That's
play the other side.
yeah, or just don't play at all. Yeah,
It's the 2% rule.
it's a 2%. Yeah. So there's a whole can of worms there, but I think more than any other sport, NFL definitely moves really fast
Oh yeah.
depending on how people bet it because it's so popular. And it just, I feel like in basketball and NBA, there's so many other things. There's so many games on each day. In NFL, when it's 1 or 2 days of the week,
Yeah.
3 days of the week, once a line's put out, it gets steamrolled so fast.
So fast. I actually think props in the NFL, like I'm like the kind of guy who's like okay with betting other things and letting the experts who only bet props spend their time and send them to me because like you said, unless I get the first bite of the cherry, I'm done. I'm not getting a good line.
Yeah, I think it's important to know because I already have some spots I circled in terms of week one, either overs or unders I was looking at, and I'm just trying to wait to see how some of these lines drop because one of them I already looked at is I don't know about you. What are your thoughts on the Steelers offense this year? I actually am pretty. I feel like the Steelers offense is gonna be fun. Do you not think it is? I think it's gonna be a fun offense.
The Steelers offense would be so fun. Wait, I was telling someone, I'm like, yo, I'm high on the Steelers offense, and they're like, oh, you're gonna trust Kenny Pickett, but it's
Yeah, I
like
mean,
Kenny Pickett had like a baseline mediocre rookie season. He's gonna get better. That
yeah.
offense, Deontay Johnson's not gonna catch 0 touchdowns. And everyone who believes that Jalen Warren's going to take Najee Harris's starting spot, I don't think so. I think Jalen Warren gets his share, but Najee Harris is also a good running back. When you think about George Pickens taking
Yeah.
that next step, I think their offense is going to be fun.
I think their offense is gonna be so spread out because that's one of the lines I had set up where I thought Najee Harris's rush yards would probably open around like that 55, 56
Yeah,
range. It opened at 48 and a half, and I actually might look to play that only because as good as the Niners can
crazy.
be, I just feel like this offense is gonna be more wide open. He had 50 or more yards in 7 of the was it 7 of the 12 game or no 8 of the 13 games they play with Pickett. And I just don't think it's going to be a game where the Niners are going to blow them out and they're going to completely ditch it. So that was one spot I actually was hoping to maybe play later in the day, seeing that it was only 48 and a half, because I do think that Najee Harris, I think he had some issues last year with that foot, and I feel like there's something to be said that there was times where he just looked like he was running with half a wheel. So I
Yeah,
think I think he does have a pretty safe spot in that offense. I don't think there's an avenue where he's just playing so bad that he just loses all his snap share.
yeah. You know what line is giving me a doggone headache?
Which one was
Jerick
that?
McKinnon, 15 and a half rushing yards. I've never wanted to take an under so bad in my life.
Yeah, I honestly I don't know if there's ever a way where you can bet it over for anybody on the Chiefs. Just because you don't know. There's too much firepower. I mean, their lines are always so crazy. Like, besides Travis Kelce, is there a person on that roster you'd look at a line and say, "Oh, he probably goes over that"? Like, it's just
No,
it's hard.
no. Like I was looking at
Like,
Watson's receiving over is pretty low, and I was like, he could get 0 or he can have 2.
yeah. I mean, it's also one of those things where their offenses are so good. Patrick Mahomes is so good. Their system is so
Yeah.
good that there's times where I swear they could probably put the water boy in, and all of a sudden he has like 3 catches for 42 yards, and you're like, how the hell did he get in the mix?
Yeah, the janitor play that they ran, like their
Yeah,
offense is so good that janitors can literally create plays
yeah.
and
Oh,
rarely
okay. The
touch them.
Jared McKinnon 16 and a half rushing yards on FanDuel. Juice to the over, so the under is minus 108.
It's just like when he hits it, when he hits it, it's because he's getting like 8, 9 carries a game. But do we believe he's going to get that in week 1?
Yeah, that's one where I'm just prepared for him to have 0 carries all game, then to go up big, and then
One,
randomly gets 1 carry in the fourth quarter to run out time, and he breaks it for like 23 yards, and it's just
yeah, I probably won't bet it.
no, yeah. Patrick Mahomes rushing yards is 15 and a half.
I like the over there.
Gibbs is 39 and a half. There's a lot of good lines. Jameer Gibbs, his lines got steamrolled. We're talking about steamrolling. I know Prop Bet Guy played this. He got his line at 25 plus for minus 130, I think, or minus 120 for receiving yards. And
What?
it
Really?
is
That's nice. I'm on his rec over at 30.
hold on. So his receiving yards, yeah, they're at 31 and a half. They opened at 25 and a half. Like 6 yards,
Yeah,
5 yards. Like that's a
that's a lot.
big movement from where you could have where it was. So I do think he gets involved. I talked about it before when I make my Jared Goff jokes about him winning
Yeah,
MVP. I actually do like this offense a lot of the Lions, and I think the one prop in this game I want to play is on points bet is Jared Goff over 255 and a half passing yards. I just think it's one of those things where I think St. Brown has a great game on Thursday, and I
yeah,
think Gibbs helps him so much in the receiving game, and I think it's gonna be such a fast paced game. And when it comes to week 1, rather than trying to guess what tight end, what running back, or what wide receiver will have the better game, I might just back the quarterback that's going to be throwing to all of them, because I think they're all going to be so
dude.
involved. Where
You said a great point there.
like
But I
I
kind
I
of
think there's so many players I want to bet in terms of the over in the passing game for the Lions that it just makes sense to bank on Goff throwing for 260.
Yeah, like Sam Laporta. I wanted to take his over. I want to take St. Brown's over at 77. And I was like, there's just too many cooks. Why not take Jared Goff?
Yeah, so I think you can get 255 and a half on points. I bet it, and I was doing a write up before, so I want to put that in the Discord later. But I just want to talk about it on the show because I do think it's one of those games where I don't think the Lions are going to get. I don't want to say I don't think they're going to get blown out or anything like that. I think it'll be semi-competitive, but they're going to have to be throwing the ball a lot, and I do think that their running game now, like Montgomery and Gibbs and like all these guys, like it's so much better fit for intermediate passing offense rather than like you know put your put your cleats in the dirt and just run up the
Yeah.
gut. They don't really have that Williams role anymore where they can kind of drain clock. They're gonna be a fast offense. And on the other side, the the Chiefs are such a fast offense. There just might be a lot of like they might end up running 75 plays in this game. So you have that many
Yeah.
plays, you just got to hope that somebody makes a play. And I think 260 is pretty attainable. But I was looking at 35.5 passing attempts for golf as well. But I might lean for just the yards and have some big plays happening throughout the game.
Dude, you know what line I'm probably going to take? And I don't care if I regret it. Mike Evans over 54.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, that offense is so strange to me. Like that like it's gonna be. I'm not as down as other people are, but yeah, it is. It is gonna be so interesting week 1 to see how they operate with
that offense was terrible last year.
Yes,
and the way how bad their offense is, I think they're just gonna get worse. Mike Evans only had like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games where he didn't hit this total, and none of them were against bad defenses. One against a bad defense.
Yeah, no, I like it. I mean, you're getting a discount for a guy that just catches so many passes and so many deep plays. Yeah. Is it
my problem
how
is
many books have that lineup? I'm gonna check.
I'm on DK. My problem is like either him or Godwin's going over.
Yeah, what's Godwin's line?
55.5. But I just think that like, man, this line for Mike Evans is so low against a Vikings defense that doesn't get that isn't great indoors. I'm gonna have to play this. This sucks.
Yeah, after you're just saying that you're done with for the most part for NFL props, now all of a sudden you're finding value. So I do like that, and I was looking at some of their lines for that game. I didn't realize that it was that low for Mike Evans. You can't really trust anyone for any touchdown props there because who knows if that offense will ever score. But they can also get some garbage time.
He went 11 for 16 to the over on this line last year. And if anybody's gonna sit here and tell me Tom Brady was even remotely a good quarterback last year, did not watch Bucs games.
Oh no, yeah,
he was awful last year.
Yeah,
like couldn't complete 10-yard out routes. It was really tough for me to watch as a fan.
No, yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that was still a thing as of last year. It's just Tom Brady just kind of feels like such a weird like Twilight Zone that was still a year ago, but. Yeah, I do like that. I think that they're both really low. I really like Chris Godwin too. I do like him, but it becomes one of those they're basically 2 wide receiver ones, and you just have to hope you're picking the right one. And if you're talking yards, I usually lean with Evans because he has I just like he just has the big play threat. Like if I ever play Godwin, it's usually the 5.5 catches for him because sometimes he'll just get these screen passes that are supposed to open up the offense, but instead they just end up losing 2 yards at a time because that's just how the offense operated last year.
And you know that we're going to run screens because I, as a Bucs fan, heard so many times Todd Bowles say, we just got to run more screenplays.
And they love those screenplays.
Bro, they love the screenplays. I hate it. Let's talk about my sleeper play since
let's do that.
To pull this up
because you mentioned a lot of the Thursday night stuff, right?
It's an only Thursday night exclusive.
Oh, perfect.
So it's $20 to win 155. First, Harrison Butker over 2.5 extra points made. If you think the Chiefs are going to win and the total is going to hit, unless they go for 2 3-point conversions, then that's a good one right there. Travis Kelce. Anytime touchdown. No brainer. Don't need an explanation for that one.
Yeah, I mean, and I kind of just mentioned it. He's the only guy on this offense you can really trust.
Yep.
To do anything.
Patty Mahomes over 16.5 rushing yards. Patrick Mahomes, listen, it's prime time. For anybody who hasn't watched Patrick Mahomes, no one loves running the ball on prime time more than Patrick Mahomes. Like I might even throw Patrick Mahomes touchdown in. Just because he loves running the big moments, starting the season. And last but not least, Jahmyr Gibbs over 30.5 receiving yards, 7.75 times your money. One more time, I'll go through it again. Harrison Butker over 2.5 extra points made. Travis Kelce, 0.5 receiving touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes over 16.5 rush yards. And Jahmyr Gibbs over 30.5 receiving yards.
I like that. I was actually, I don't know if you saw this, but on DraftKings, you mentioned Patrick Mahomes, taking the spotlight, running a lot. They actually opened a line for his rush attempts, and it opened at 3.5, and the under I think was -160. And somehow, some way, it is completely flipped, where the over is now -140,
I
and then
believe
the
it.
under is +110. So I don't know what happened there, because I don't know. Even if he's running the ball 4 attempts, Feels like it's gonna that line like that might come down to hopefully you get a kneel at the end. I feel like 3 is a safe number, and then it comes
Yeah.
down to whether or not you get that last kneel. So that's an interesting line. But yeah, I do think that I was looking at his rushing totals, because there's a lot of 15 and a halves out there for
Yep.
that line to get over there. So I think that's a good look there.
I think he's gonna hit this in one play,
Yeah. I
which is a
mean,
decent
he's
payout.
got a 15 and a half line. Jarek McKinnon is at 15 and a half. So I don't know. So one of them has to do the running, and so far it hasn't
Mhm.
been McKinnon.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be fun. Did you handicap any baseball?
I saw I gave so I'll look into the baseball slate. It's weird because I actually found some plays yesterday where I had a really good day in baseball, and today I saw how big the slate was, and I was kind of excited, but there was not as much as I was excited for. Like yesterday, I saw the spots and immediately identified them. Today, I just kind of I didn't love as much. I know you are on Sonny Gray. I like Sonny Gray.
That's the only one I was really liked.
Yeah, like I don't think the slate was as it was not as fun as I thought it was going to be when I saw how massive the slate was.
What's funny about I'm on Sonny Gray, guys. I'm on Sonny Gray over 17 and a half pitching outs, -170. Every single part of me tried so hard to find another line to tie it with.
Yeah, and you
I
couldn't.
absolutely hated everything about this slate.
Yeah, I don't know, because yesterday I had some fun play. I know Josh makes fun of me with the Justin Steele whatever, but I was on Justin Steele yesterday and he went off. He had 12 strikeouts yesterday. It was
Dude,
awesome.
his Cy Young odds went from 6.5 to 3.5.
Dang. Yeah. He might win it. He might steal it, and that really frustrates me.
Did you
Even
do
though
any action on that?
I don't, and it was partly probably a bad move on my part, but in my head, as good as he was, I was just like, what is he gonna have to do to really put himself into that conversation? And the last 3 starts, he did exactly what he would need to do that. So he's been fantastic. And I
Yep.
root for the guy. I like Justin Steele. Yeah, but we were talking about how this slate is kind of annoying. Same thing. Yesterday, I played Pablo Lopez under 5.5 strikeouts at plus money.
Yeah.
He only had 3. It was really sweat free, and they kind of piggyback off that because I'm not really original. I was just gonna look to fade Gray in terms of strikeouts, not outs. Just because like last week, same matchup. I like to back the under in strikeouts for a team that has to play the Guardians in back-to-back starts, just because
Yeah.
you're gonna get a lot
You
more
get
weak
pitcher again.
contact. Yeah, so but, last week I got Sonny Gray against the Guardians under 5.5. Today it's 4.5, -115. And you're losing a whole strikeout and getting worse juice than I got last week. I can't play that. I can't even look at that as an option because he's gonna go 6 innings, I believe. So, that's asking for 4 over 6 innings. I know this team doesn't strike out. He gets a lot of good weak contact, but I would have paid decent juice for the 5.5, but they opened at 4.5 and kind of just scared it. Kind of just put me away for there.
Yeah, that's tough. Like I wanted to bet Woodruff over strikeouts,
Yeah,
but like
seven,
was
uh,
it 7.5 or 9.5
seven and
something
a
like that?
half.
I
I
was
li-
like,
I
what?
like I like the idea of that because I like the 7. Like I like that, but 7.5 is such a crazy number,
Yeah,
and
it
his
is.
his outs are set at 17 and a half, and that's another thing where I would like to bet his outs, but he's just a weird guy where he can get 8 strikeouts for you in 8 innings, but he ends up throwing 104 pitches in that process. And next thing you know, he's getting pulled after 4 or 5 innings. Even if he's not, pitching, he doesn't have to be pitching poorly for that, but his pitch count can really get up there, and he can have these long at bats that take so long for an outcome. So he scares me there with that. I saw some people play his outs earlier, and I like it, but I just couldn't get myself to fully commit there.
Yeah,
I
same.
mean, he's over that in 7 of his last 10 starts. I mean, he's looked fantastic. He's looked like what he's supposed to look like. Yeah, actually, he has good history versus the Pirates too.
I
But I
like
just
kind of
couldn't.
like Eflin pitching outs, but then I was like Eflin's the kind of person where he's gonna cruise this number or absolutely make you eat shit in the first 2 innings, and I didn't want any part of that.
Yeah, no, I don't know what it was today. I really want to play something. That sounds bad to say, but I really wanted to have a play. And the more I looked, just the more I just didn't like a lot what I saw. I mean, Luzardo's on the mound today, but once
Yeah,
again, his outs are 15 and a half. He's not going to go more than 6 innings, but his under and strikeouts is tempting at plus 110 for under 5.5. But he's just got such great strikeout stuff that I couldn't. Like I said, there's a lot of spots I like, and then the more I kind of look, the more I kind of just don't feel it's something I really want to fire on. There's a bunch of spots oh, that's an intriguing spot, but there hasn't been any spots where I saw a spot that matches a line that I think is actually a good play.
yeah. Um, one thing that I might lock in is Orioles first five, but team total plus 110. But this is one of those games where I'd prefer to bet their team total while watching the game so I could double down at 1.5. If I don't have,
Yeah,
if I'm not gonna be able to watch the game, then I don't want to just sit there and let that float out because I think that 2 is like a solid cutoff for them. Like that's their floor. But man, wouldn't you hate losing an over 2.5 for plus money and they end at 2 in the first 5?
yeah, no, that happens often. I think it was the Astros I backed for that, and they had two. And I think they scored 2 runs in the first 2 innings, and then just did not get anything going the rest of the way. It was really frustrating. Offensive props can really take a lot out of you sometimes when you're trying to back a team that just is not getting anything going. It's almost worse to have nothing going than to blow opportunities where you're just hoping for base runners and nothing ever comes.
Yep. All right, so little U.S. Open talk. Jelena Ostapenko does an interview right before her match against Coco Gauff and basically said, "I'm not scared at all. I have a good history against her," and then gets her ass whooped 6-0, 6-2 straight sets. That's kind of funny. Coco Gauff,
Sometimes you put your target on your back though.
dude, why would you say that? Like, Coco Gauff was plus 250 to win over the weekend when one of my followers like, who do you want to bet on? And I was like, Coco Gauff, and I think Medvedev is who I liked in the min. Just I was getting he was 13-1. Let's see. I want to see what Coco Gauff's line is right now. She's got to be even money at best to win it all. They only have mins. Oh, what a sexist sports book. Plus 150 now. Sabalenka, because what's her name? Iga Swiatek got eliminated. Now Sabalenka is her only competition. I might put some money on this. I did a little parlay of Coco Gauff with Djokovic to win today, and the minus 200 leg is done. So if I lose the minus 700 leg against a guy he's beat 7 straight times, I deserve to lose.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's one of those ones where you just have to kind of hate yourself a little bit and then try to move on from it.
Yep. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take Coco Gauff and the Kansas City Chiefs. What odds is that? It's got to be a plus 200, right? Come on, hurry up.
You would think so, because what are the Chiefs? What are their
minus
lines
260
right now?
or 280? Minus 280. Gives me plus 238. Ooh, I'm not going to put $400 on it. I'll put a quarter of a unit just to have some fun with everyone. I mean, that doesn't return 1 unit. I want to do to win 1 unit. How much is that?
Probably just need a little bit more on it, right? It can't be much more than a quarter of a unit.
Let's see.
Right?
That's like 0.45 unit. Oh, nope, lower.
All right, so
0.42.
Perfect. Look at that. That's gonna work out well.
That's fun.
And it gives you some action from now
Yeah.
until Thursday night.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
That's
I was gonna say, as you were talking to, I was shopping lines. I do want to say, you mentioned the Orioles. I was looking at a way to back them too in like a PPD setup with our guy Dean. With our
Yeah. Kramer.
Yeah, with Kramer. I was looking at like a 4 strikeouts and a win. DraftKings has a minus 115 because I do think that that's
I like
a good
that.
spot to back them because this Angels is just kind of I don't want to say bad because they have a lot of talent, but they're at the point of the season where they are just done. Like every single season, they always start off so hot, and everyone's like, "Oh, the Angels are so good," and then they're at that point where they're just done. I mean, they've lost 4 straight. I just think they're a good team you could probably fade. And on the other hand, you have the Orioles 3.5 games in first, still trying to expand that lead. So I do think there's a way to back them in a PPD setting today.
Yeah, I like that. I was trying to find a way to play that game. I like. It's so tough for me to like that, like to bet something that's not team total, because Kramer has given up 7 in back-to-back starts. Like that's
Yeah, it's really strange. That's why I was kind of thinking about doing his strikeouts, and I saw some guy on Twitter, showing bets. He backed him in a way that was the strikeouts with the Orioles over 3 runs or something like that. So
yeah.
maybe that's how I'll play it rather than like them to win, just backing the strikeouts with the Orioles offense. So even if they lose 9-6, I still feel like I can win it, even though you're not getting the win. You just need the runs.
Yep. I like that a lot. Dude, I tried so hard to find a lot of value in this.
Yeah. It was kind of funny because this is one of those weeks where it was really nice that we have football to talk about or to look forward to, because to fill a half-hour show with this kind of a baseball slate would have been really difficult.
Dude, what's annoying? I thought they were going to lower Garrett Cole's strikeouts.
7.5 is
It's still 7.5, but last week we got plus 125 for the over. He ended on 7. Now it's even money.
Yeah, but it's such a good matchup. That's a good one to maybe look into a player before it's 0-4, because the Yankees should win, but then again, if you do that, you're banking on the Yankees actually playing good baseball, which is really tough to ask.
What's that guy's name? Dominguez? Well, I wonder what he is to hit a home run. Wait, so me and my girl are watching the last Yankees game when he hit a home run, and I'm like telling this whole story about him, blah, blah, blah. He's up to bat, yanks it out the park. I was like, holy shit, I need to talk about this guy more often.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I know if Will was here, he'd talk about how it's all a scam to make them think the Yankees actually actually care when they don't. But yeah, he's got a lot of pop. He is.
I think
fun.
I'm gonna make a home run parlay. All right, live on
All
air.
right.
Let's see. I'm gonna do Dominguez home run. No, I'm not gonna do it live on air. I had a couple from. I think there's gonna be home runs in the Giants game. Where is it? I don't even see the Giants game. And what was the other game that I liked? Nah, I don't have enough that I like.
Yeah, someone in the chat mentioned had we not bet Trey Turner today, he's going crazy, and he is. Trey Turner, I swear, every 2 seconds this guy's going.
What's that?
Yard.
5 home runs in 6 straight games?
Yeah, he was back-to-back multi-home run games. He's just, I swear, every single day, he's just, ever since that standing ovation, he was awful. He's been batting like 350 with, I'm pretty sure I might be a little over-exaggerating, but I think it's 116 home runs in that last month. He's just hitting so many. He's actually playing ridiculous baseball. It's not even fair at times to kind of see some of his stat lines with how he's been playing.
Dude, I took Trey Turner so it's a keeper league, so someone like the number 1 overalls weren't available. I took him as my number 1 overall pick, and I hated him for most of the season. And like now he's absolutely balling. Like my team is the 3 seed, the playoff start this week, but my team is playing better than anyone else. I'm like on a 6-game winning streak, 6-week winning streak. It's freaking amazing.
There you go. That's a good way to do it. I mean, he's, he didn't turn up for the most of the season, but when it counts, he's been playing really well. So
yes,
yeah.
Last year I got second place in this league. I need a win this year.
I'm gonna check this now. One of the spots I had marked for is there Monday night props out? My friend just texted me saying, "Did you see that?" I don't think there is. He lied to me. Why would there? Yeah, but never mind. We're good.
These odds are nuts. I think I'm gonna put Trey Turner in here. I'm already at 50-1 with 2 players to hit home run today.
Oh, look at that. That's a smart investment right there.
Yeah, I mean, I put $10 on it. Screw it.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, because I just checked. I didn't see any lines, but the one line I want to make known that I'm looking at too for Monday is I want to play Josh Allen, his rushing yards and some. Oh no, there is a line on FanDuel.
They're up.
Yeah, 35.5 rushing yards. I want to play that for Josh Allen.
Yeah,
he runs a lot against the Jets too. Say with Kyle Mahomes as well. Primetime Josh Allen. the guy moves. The guy runs a lot, and we all know he's not really careful with his body. 35 and a
Yeah,
half is not it's not a bad line at all. I like that. And the
Brian,
thing
this
with
hits,
the thing
I'm gonna
that's
hit you.
what?
If
No,
this,
with
it's
the
five
home
dollars to
run.
win 1,373.
Perfect. That's all you need.
I spent $5 doing worse shit. Let's see how much the round robin pays if I put a buck on all of them. Still 125. Okay, let's do $5. 628. Boom. The bet has been placed.
Wow. Well, I guess we got to root for that for you. That you can possibly hit a bomb tonight.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I think that's a good way to wrap this up though.
Yeah.
If you would just read off what your
Yeah.
50 to 1,
No, it's 200 to 1. I added
200 to
in
1. You added.
Trey
So what's
Turner.
what do you have?
Jason Dominguez home run, Trey Turner home run, Cody Bellinger home run. $5 to win 1,300. Wait,
Wow.
I was putting it in my channel and accidentally notified you.
It's okay.
I said this is nuts, but I'm playing it.
I think JD just played Trey Turner, his hits, RBI,
I like
runs
that.
prop as well. I think that's a perfect way to end the show on a 200
It
to 1
is.
home run bomb. So,
I hope it
I
is.
mean, I think we actually had a good discussion on some things, some NFL props that are coming out slowly. We covered what we thought was just an awful baseball slate, but I think it was good with the two-man crew here.
We did it
As
justice.
Yeah, as always, we appreciate Pickett Sports. We appreciate Fame Best, and we appreciate sleeper picks. And do you want to go? Actually, we already went through your sleeper picks, so we're more than fine here. So,
Yeah.
Brad, it's been great, and I guess we'll see you tomorrow, right?
Yep. See you guys tomorrow.
Awesome. See you guys.